Good Chodesh Rabbi Sai. With us today, very, very choshev guests. What? The one and only, my shver, Dr. Friedman from Chicago. Shkoyer Dad. Now, mitzvah shvachim b'fanov. Not only is my father-in-law one of the greatest head and neck surgeons in the world, gives talks around the world and invented many different inyanim. He also trained me back in the day. I'm also a shtickle surgeon. You could ask him. I did surgery with him a few times. But more importantly for me and for my mishpacha, my father-in-law is a masmid also. He knows how to learn like you can't even imagine. He gives a shir every single Shabbos for many years, probably 20, 30 years, on Shabbosim, on Yom Tovim, in the hotel. He's a Daf Yomi Meshugana. He never misses a day. And he's a very good learner. But he's a masmid. What I mean by masmid, I spent hundreds of Shabbosim in his house. I lived there for a few months at a time. And you come there at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, he's there with the Gemara. Always with the Gemara. Any available moment that the man has, he's learning Torah or spending it with his grandchildren. But he's learning Torah. So he's here. I think I'm going to invite him a little bit. The Kavod Purim. If you allow me, could I say over the mice about...
Do you have a choice?
Huh? I'll give you a chance. No, it's a big chizuk. Seriously, this is a story I said over a number of times, but my father-in-law's here, and he'll correct me on the exact details of the story, because it's a story of chizuk. So I know he's not going to like it 100%, but Afal Pikein. The Kavod Da'ilam will be mevater. My father-in-law had a problem with his bchar. He wasn't doing well in yeshiva. He was, to say the least, he wasn't learning very much. So my father-in-law went to Reb Tzvi Kamenetsky in Chicago, and the Rebbe over there, and he said, "What am I going to do with Moshe? He's not learning." So he looked at him very bluntly. He said, "Do you learn? What kind of hashpah do you have on your son? You're a surgeon. All you do the whole day is work. What about Torah?" So my father-in-law took it very seriously. And I don't know if it was the next day, I'll tell you. He went and he got a chavrusa, Reb David, what's his last name?
Oppenheimer.
Reb David Oppenheimer. This is talking about 35 years ago, maybe more. How many years ago?
Probably 40, more than 40.
More than 40 years ago. And they have never missed a day of learning in 40 years. I mean, maybe when he had COVID and he was dying in the hospital, Reb David, but in the snow, in this 2 feet of snow, he walks into Lincolnwood, and then my father drives to him, and they never missed a day. And he became a huge masmid. And in fact, his son is a famous Rosh Yeshiva today in Esivas in Yerushalayim. He's a big masmid, a tremendous Talmud Chacham. So it goes to show, right? What do you want to be most to the story?
Thanks to Rav Tzvi. Yeah, but you're right. It's that one day.
That one line.
One line, one time. Huh? It's true.
What did he say? What was his line?
He said if you want him to learn, you have to learn. It was simple.
Wow.
It was a simple idea.
All right. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Yehuda Mund.
Shalom Aleichem from Baltimore. Shalom Aleichem. And your name?
Jeff Haskell.
From?
Woodmere.
Shalom Aleichem. Your brother, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Yari Saunders.
From Saunders. Wow, he's a real Manchester. Wow, unbelievable. And your name? From Vannon? Liberty, New York. Wow. Remind me your name. I missed you. Mati what? From also England. And you used to come every single day with Ari Simon, then you disappeared for months. And I asked him, what happened to you?
I left the yeshiva.
You left the yeshiva. You back in England?
Yeah.
So you came to visit now?
Yeah.
You used to come every day?
Yeah.
What a chaval. Did you keep up with the daf while you were gone? MS? How old are you now? 15. You kept up with the daf. Good for you. What's your... Eli! Shalom Aleichem. I get to see you on Yom Tovim. Now you're driving the share around. I'm sorry. Okay, Givaldi. Wow. So you're getting paid to watch the shir live. Wow, what a deal, what a deal. Who else? You in the back bag. You want to see Shalom Aleichem? From Queens. Shalom Aleichem, Mickey. Anybody else? Who? Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Daniel Goldberg.
From?
Los Angeles.
Oh. Givaldi, Shalom Aleichem. Great. You? No. Anybody? There's more. What's your name? Yours? Oh, you, yeah. From where? Maladumim. And you're his son, right? Somebody that worked for Chevrat Chashmal. Yeah. Okay, Givaldi. What's your first name? David. We're not going to tell Chevrat Chashmal you're here instead of working, right? That's what. Keep it on the down low. What is this? Oh, this is by Meir Plankus Chasana, the Chevra, Rabbi Stroh, the Rosh Koil, the official, not our Rosh Koil, but we call him the Rosh Koil, is in the center. And Rabbi Ariel Blau, Meir Planka, Givaldi, got the Chasana. MDY Williamsburg satellite location. Mark
Rabbi, I'm here in Williamsburg, and I'm just passing through, so I figured I'd stop in at
over there.
Williamsburg Share Watch.
Wait. In Williamsburg, listen, in Williamsburg, it's not a joke. Okay, I guess we'll just skip these things now. Oh, I like the beginning of this. Video from Lior Golden. I'm your loyal Talmud from Bava Metzia. Ever since I was in yeshiva when my friend Yisrael inspired me to begin to watch you, even though I thought you were some OTD modernish balabas. I'm now staying in Somerton, Philadelphia, Mr. Shem building Kosher Gym. Made a few siyum and you're married. Anyway, here's a video of Melech inspiring you to do the daf. Here's the famous video. I got it from a bunch of people.
Ich weiß, du a Jiden in New York, in Monsi. Also mal 4 Schleime Meile. Heißt Avrum David Ben Sura Blime. Du weißt dem noch. Avrum David Ben Sura Blime weiß. לא אלינו ולא עלייך, am liegt mit der Nivun Schririm, ALS. Da hab ich schon kein Schririm, ein Eiver in Körper. Er redt noch mit Augen. Da hab ich schon noch mit Augen. Gibt es ein größer Doktor, dort nach Rankim, es ist ein Juchid Mimche. Wo sich mit Tappel mit dem. Ein Juchid Mimche in dem Trim. Und ich gesagt vor dem, warum David, sagen, sie sind stark. Wenn David sitzt in knackten Lernen, nicht normal so. Nicht normal. Ich mach sie immer Schaß. Der Doktor hat ihm gesagt, ich bin ein Juchid Mimche in Rafir. Ich habe ja mit Geld. Er sagt, ein größer Gewirr. Ich habe Dires mit Bingunen Berach und Teufel. Ich habe ein Schiff, ein Fliegerpruti. Ein Fleiter-prutische Flieger. Oh, ich bin nicht besimche. Die kannst dich nicht schrieren. Du bist besimche. Lern mal was. Wieso macht man das? Ich habe Geld mit der Flieger, mit der Fleit, mit Bingunen. Na, Juren Mimche, ich bin nicht freilich. Die liegst also geschrieben, ein Eiver in Körper und bist freilich. Weißt du, was ihm geantwortet? Mit den Augen hat er ihm geantwortet. Tilmoid darf Gemurre bechol Jahr. Länger Blatt Gemurre jeden Tag. Das ist viel anders. Das ist viel ein bisschen. Ja, man sieht es auf den Menschen. Man sieht es auf Freilichen. Nicht egal. Der Busch ist reingehen, für Kinder, schon mit seinem Leib. Ihnen sind alle sagen, sind stark. Mit allen Buben, alle sind stark. Aber lass mal nehmen den Blatt Gemurre, lass mal nehmen mit dem. Mach ein bisschen. Ich bin nicht also, ich bin nicht zum Eulen, lass mal Mama zusammen mit dem. Söder. Lass mal Mama zusammen. Aber Rabbi sei, mach ein bisschen. A bisschen mehr, sind so freilicher.
The voice of today's breakfast sponsored by Shimon Lefkowitz in honor of Rosh Chodesh, Rebelli, who has brought thousands to the sweetness of Torah. Yishkoyach. Shimon, I don't know where you are. I wanted to shmooze with you. Give me a call. Zoom in. The Masechta by the Iranian Levi families, Perek, Anonymous, Lilishmas Avi Moyer, Reb Chaim ben Reb Yosef, Zechron L'Rocha, Lamed Tammuz, Tavshin Pei. Daniel and Kayla Goldwag, today's daf. Lili Nishmas. Oh, you knew that you're going to be here? You even have the Gemara. Let me see your Gemara here. The official MDY Gemara. Here it is. This daf is dedicated by Daniel and Kayla Goldwag. Lili Nishmoy Shragami Yitzchak Shalom Beryl Mordechai Shalom Zalman Shalom. Here it is. Mefurish in the daf. Givaldi. Thank you. Wow, the Shom should have an aliyah. Monthly sponsors anonymous for the merit of Refuah Shlema for all Klal Yisrael who needs Refuah Shlema. I guess we dropped all our monthlies because I don't say them every day. Daily sponsors Mazel Tov to Shlomo Kamiansky on his Hanochas Tefillin today. Love Abba Mami. Where's Hillel? What do they call him? Momo? What do they call him? Momo. Anonymous. Lefus Yal Simcha Bas Bashal Leah. Oh, my mic. Thank you, Dave. Eli and C.B. Berkowitz in honor of Rabbi Simcha Lauer completing his 2 new Svarim. Zchus for his refuah shleima. Oh, I'm supposed to have the sefer. Where is he? Here, bring it over here. Eli Berkowitz, who comes every day with his son Gishmak. So his brother-in-law wrote these 2 svarim. He needs a refuah shleima. Simcha Lauer. Look at this. Put these together. Unbelievable. What a zchus. Okay, Gevaldik. Shkoyach, give it back to him. Yossi and Michal Rubenstein. Didn't we do this? But I guess it's another one. Yossi and Michal Rubenstein. Lila Nishma, maybe because I didn't say the name right. Lila Nishma's Rachel Bas Rabbi Yaakov Gold Zechron Levracha. Michal's grandmother. Michal's grandmother. Your side is today. Aleph Odar. Shom should have an Aliyah. Coach Mo, JSL, 5 Towns Pulse, Feintuch. In honor of my dear friend Nacho. As he knows, I'm the cheese to his Nacho. What's going on, Nacho?
I don't know, Mo, I'm going to get you back somehow. I don't know.
What do you got in that bag?
Oh, the bag?
Yeah.
I'm happy you asked. It's surprise. I assume you called me up.
Yeah. Yesterday he came up. He's all from Los Angeles. Let's see that.
This one.
No, I'm not.
It's just for you. You can share with whoever you want.
Yeah. Wow, what a thing. I'm going to give it to my father-in-law as a gift. Do you mind?
He earned it, yeah.
Did you have to take it through customs?
Unbelievable. Don't ask. He brought it on his carry-on. He got pulled over, the whole thing.
Where are my followers?
The official edition of NY Shots Masechta by the Iranian Leiba family's Perik Anonymous. Leading edition was Zachariah Ben Moshe. Masechta sponsor David Salomon. Dedicated memory of Avi Merib Shmuel Borg Merib Chaim Tzvi Doish Chron Levracha. Masechta sponsors Joel Gedalis. Leading edition was my father Jack Gedalis. Anonymous. Haslacha Baruch Nizvagashmi is the Palchik Family Foundation. The Zech edition was Rav Goyer Shlomo Palchik. The Metchetzer Eloi. Anonymous, Refuah Shleima, Moshe Ben Izah. Anonymous, for complete Refuah Shleima, and Arichas Yom Talei Bas Esther, Yisrael Malki. Totally does speak on Malki Zav Chesed. We're so proud of you. Yaakov Mordechai, keep steiging. Send the Gross family. Canby Island, UK, in honor of Rebellion, you changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almighty. Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Oiskim, Tzorchi, and DY, Peshbok Yishalom Scharim. The monthly sponsors: Ari Simon, Refuah Shleima, Avi Mori, Baruch Ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shleima, Esther Bas Luna, Moshe Aaron, Miriam Landi, Hoyd Lashem Kitoiv, Kilo Elam Chazdoi. Monthly sponsors Anonymous, the schools of birth that's good and open and revealed way for Yosef Mordechai Ben Bati Leo Mate. Yehuda and Yehuda Lewis as a schools for everyone in need of a shidduch. Amen. Anonymous, for the merit of Michal Ben Yisrael Yosef, success and blessing in all areas of life. By sprinting out growth, and Nishma Shalom Zalman Ben Yitzchak Isaac, Yomanizing Ben Tzvi Hirsch for Shlomo Yonatan Eitam Ben Bracha. Anonymous, for the merit of Refuah Shleima from Malka Bas Chaya, Centers.com helping get in Daven Mitzibur with pop-up Inyonim anywhere worldwide. Nishma Chaim Shalom Ben Mitzal. And the way art, the month, Refuah Shleima Yonatan Eitam Ben Bracha Mein, Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther, Refuah Ayelet Daniel Zev Ben Ayel Esther. Rabbi Sai, good news. Even though it's Rosh Chodesh today, but there's no Tachnun because I'm going to be a Sandik by Yitzchak Bookingholtz. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, Bookingholtz. So Baruch Hashem, no Tachnun. I get Sandikos whenever there's no Tachnun anyway. What? Mamish. Could have pushed it off by a day. Something. And I do want to give Akar Satayv to all those who donated to my son Lozi's campaign. Zerch. Abba Renner gave $1,000. My father-in-law gave $3,600. The kids are Yishkoyach to the Olam. The Mark Ashkenaz, Shlomo Ler, all these guys, they jumped in, they gave it made him feel great. It made me also feel.
You got 1,000 donors.
No, you didn't. No.
The 16 guys.
Oh, the 16 guys got
1,000 donors.
Yeah, because they were relentless. Mamish relentless. Okay, Gevaldik. Yishkoyach, they should have a lot of atzlacha. Says Gemara holding by Arba Tzitzios Ma'akvei Zu Daf Lamed Zayin Omud Beis. Like 15 lines from the bottom, 12, 15 lines. New sugya. It says in the Mishnah that the 4 tzitzis, if you don't have all 4, then you can't wear tzitzis. Arba Tzitzios Ma'akvei Zu Sharbartam Mitzvah Achas. It's one mitzvah. Comes Rabbi Yishmael says all 4 are 4 mitzvahs. As the Gemara might be now, at the end of the day, you have to wear a beged that has 4 corners with 4 tzitzis. So where's the nafkamina, whether it's 1 mitzvah or 4 different mitzvahs? Says the Gemara, a number of differences. On Rabbi Yosef, Sadim b'tzitzis iki benayu. You have it already. You guys have it? You with us? Good. Sadim b'tzitzis, meaning if you have a garment that's made out of pishtan, and I see. Okay, I'll talk about it soon. Remind me, Gershon, Dave, somebody remind me that I have to do the chulin thing. By the turning of that, we'll talk about it. So, if a person has only 3 tzitzis, now we know, we're going to be talking, we're starting Perek Tcheles today, so I might as well show you. The blue string in the tzitzis is made out of wool. Has to be made out of wool. The beged, the sadin, is made out of pishtan. So what we have here is a problem of tzemer pishtan of shatnez. So if it's the mitzvah of tzitzis, great. But what happened was, you don't have all 4. You only have 3 out of the 4. So we have a problem of shatnez. According to Chacham, you need 4, and you only have 3. So you're walking around with shatnez. You're going to have to take the beged off. According to Rabbi Shmuel, that each one of the tzitzis is a mitzvah f'nei atzma. It's its own mitzvah. So if you're wearing 3, you're also carrying the mitzvah. It's not shatnez. The tzemer, the wool that you have on your 3 tzitzis, is part of the mitzvah. You carry a mitzvah. That's nafkamina number 1. If a person has something like this, 5 corners, so according to Tanakama, you put on 4 tzitzis. According to Rabbi Shmuel, each one is a mitzvah f'nei atzma, so you would have to put on 5. Ravina Omar, the Rav Huna Kibinayu, there's a nafkamina in Rav Huna. The Omar Rav Huna, I'll tell you this. There's a Mordei Gechad from the Chassam Sofer. What happens if you have a guy that's in the process of Geiros? He's not sure if he's a Ger or not. He didn't dunk in the mikveh 100%. He realized he has a suffix. I don't know whatever the suffix is. There's always a suffix, right? So now he has a major problem on Shabbos. If he's not Mechal Shabbos and he's a guy who's not Mechal Shabbos is Chayiv Misa. If he is Mechal Shabbos and he's a Jew, she's Chayiv Misa. So what should he do? What should he do? So Chassam Sofer comes up with a great chap. He says he should wear tzitzis in a Rishus HaRabim. Why? Because the strings of the tzitzis, if they're tzitzis and they have a mitzvah, then they're part of the beged, the bottle to the beged, then you're not carrying. But if they're not if they're not a mitzvah, if he's a goy and he's not makayim the mitzvah of tzitzis, then they're not part of the beged. They have a chashivas b'fnei atzma. It's not like a string coming off a beged that will be bottle. It's not bottle to the beged, and therefore he's carrying in Rishus HaRabim. So he's Mechal Shabbos, and if he's a guy, he's Mechal Shabbos, it's great. And if he's a Jew, then it's a good tzitzis, so then he's not carrying, so it's good. That's his chap. That's Chassam Sofer. So that's what the Gemara says over here. Now that we know that, the Omer Avuna Yedz V'Tal Sheinu Mitzuyetz is Kilchasa. If a person walks out in the Rishus HaRabim, let's say with 3 tzitzis, so now the tzitzis become a masa, they become a burden. He's carrying tzitzis. B'Shabbos chayiv chatas. According to Rabbi Shmuel, you'd be potter. Why? Because 3 is also good, so you're not chayiv anything. According to Tanakama, 3 is nothing, so you're carrying 3. It's like carrying a bag of tzitzis around, nothing to do with your tzitzis, and that's also a chayiv chatas. If a person thinks that himself that he's going to get away with getting rid of the 4th corner, and he won't be chayiv tzitzis, he didn't do anything. He cut off the corner. He did something like this, I guess. Shavital is Baal Chomesh. So by cutting the corner, all you did is you added another corner. Omer Misharsha, you ever see these guys walking around with fracks? The frack is really 4 corners. So what do? If you take a notice, you'll see one of the back corners, they round it out. So is that okay? That's what the Gemara is discussing here. This guy made a mistake. He didn't round it out. He cut it on a straight angle. Oh, so now he created 5 corners. With Nanami, no. What if he ties it up? He ties up the corner in a circle, something like this. He circles it out a little bit. This is not so much circle, but it was in a circle. Because you tied it, the knot is nothing. My time, the command is shari dummy. We just view it as if it's completely untied, and it's got a regular garment of 4 corners. With Nanami, if you have a jug, something like this, you try to make a jug out of a piece of leather by tying it, that's nothing. It's not a jug, it's not a kli. Kli is makabel tuma, but a piece of leather is not makabel tuma. The way you try to create a jug was by tying it, that knot is not enough. You need to sew it, you need to do something serious. Chutz mishal arvim, if they're Arabs, that's the derech to use it like that, so that's the way it's a kli. But you're not an Arab, you don't tie up a piece of hide and make it into a jug. Therefore, it's not mekabatum. In other words, what we see from here is that by tying something, that's not enough. That doesn't change the tsura of the beged or the kli. If a person actually sews the corner of his garment and he makes it in a circle like they do on the frak, there's a guy, I once saw a guy in a shul walking with a frak with tzitzis. Has anybody ever seen this?
Yes.
You've seen it in New York.
And also with the jacket also.
With a jacket?
The short jacket.
That would be a shtickle. I think it's a shtickle URO. I don't know what it is. It's
Used to be a guy in Baytown, but he was also like a mentally ill. He had
oh.
everywhere. Everywhere.
If he wasn't mentally ill before, he was mentally ill after. Ishkoyach. I appreciate the comment. Nacho, you don't have tzitzis on your thing?
On my what?
I don't know. On your jogging. No. If he really didn't want that corner, he should have cut it out. Why did he sew it up? So the sewing doesn't do any much. So Rabbi Shmuel holds, just going back to that Mishnah, Rabbi Shmuel holds that each tzitzis is a mitzvah b'fnei atzmo. Rav Yudah or Shmuel, halach Rabbi Shmuel. He starts off saying that when we're talking about shatnez, when we're talking about Shabbos, five corners, whatever the nafkaminas are, the halach is like Rabbi Shmuel. You put on tzitzis on all five corners. You're not over on Shabbos. You're not over on shatnez. But the Gemara says, but we don't paskin like Shmuel. Ememela, the halach is not like Rabbi Shmuel, and you would need all four tzitzis, and you would be over in shatnez, you would be over in Shabbos. Rabbi Navakah Azal Basrei, story. Rabbi Navakah Azal Basrei the Marbar Ravashi b'Shabsa the Rigla. It was on Shabbos, right before Yontif, where there's a drasha, and he was walking behind Marbar Ravashi. Ifsak kind of the chute, he noticed that one of the tzitzis popped out. Where's my tzitzis here? I don't know if we have one. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. This corner is missing completely. He noticed it popped out. Now here's a good shaila. What would you do? What would everybody here do? Think about it. You see somebody walking Rosh Hashanah without tzitzis. You see somebody walking with a certain jacket that you know, that boss, that Canali, whatever, the what's the famous, Georgia, I don't know what, has shatnez. There's certain companies that 100% have shatnez. You see the guy walking with the brand new tag, it has shatnez. Do you tell him in the middle of Rosh Hashanah that is shatnez, and therefore he has to take off his trousers in the middle of the street? Or you're going to be a nice guy, let him get home, and as he opens up the door, he said, by the way, did you check for shatnez? What would you do? Most of us would just let him go. It seems like from the Gemara that you're not allowed to let him go. You got to stop him straight there in the middle of the Rosh Hashanah. Reminds me of a story they say about a certain gadol. I'm not going to say his name because it's very possible it's not a true story. Not that it's bad about the gadol, but I don't know. I think it might be a made-up story. Maybe. Who knows? Some guy, a letz, came over to a gadol in Bnei Brak and said, your pants are shatnez. In the middle of the street, in the middle of Bnei Brak. So he took off his pants. He felt really bad. He didn't think he was going to take it off right there. So he said, no, it was just a joke. Just a joke. So he says, once you say it, you don't have a right to take it back, and he had to walk home like that. Oh, so says the Gemara, he didn't mention a word to him. In other words, he was worried that he's going to have to take off his shirt in public, and this is Marbar Ravashi, Goladar. You don't do that to him. When he got home, he said, Ravina tells him, I noticed 3 blocks earlier, that's when your tzitzis became possible. If you would have told me over there, I would have removed my garment. Now let's ask the question, why would he remove the garment? He has 3 tzitzis. What's wrong with 3 tzitzis? According to Rabbi Shmuel, if you have a garment with 4 corners and you have 3 tzitzis, you keep on wearing it. Each one is a mitzvah. Obviously, we don't pass it like Rabbi Shmuel. We passing like Chachamim that you don't. You have to wear. You have to have 4. As the Gemara of Omar, Godel Kavod Abrios Shedoiches Leis Hasa Shabbat Torah. This is a concept of human dignity that if a person could be embarrassed or push off even a Leis Hasa in the Torah. We have to see what that means. The Gemara right away says it's not true. Tirguma Rav Bar Shva Kamei Rav Kahana Belav Delei Sasser. Not true. Not true. There's only one time that you're allowed to break a doiraisa when you're embarrassed. So a lot of people take this as this idea. They take it for Shabbos. I don't know. I'm not passing on laws. I'm throwing this out there. You probably should ask a rabbi, although you can't ask a rabbi because the situation is in the bathroom. You're on Shabbos and there's toilet paper and it's not torn. And what are you going to do? And it's human dignity. So a lot of people say you're allowed to rip because of Kavod Abrios, and you have to ask your local. I'm just throwing out where it comes into. Rashi brings that it's also toilet paper of those days. It's talking about the stones. A stone on Shabbos is muktzah. Muktzah is the rabbanon. So when it comes to Leisaser, what's Leisaser? The famous, everybody in Eretz Yisrael knows Leisaser. They apply it also to the Gedolim in our days, or the Yadin. But it says, Al pi ha'Torah asher yerucha v'al ha'mishpat asher yor melucha tasa. Whatever the Chachamim, we're going to go with the Chachamim, the Tanoim, the Amoraim. Leisaser min ha'davar asher yigid l'cha yom u'smayil. You're not allowed to veer to the right or to the left of what they tell you. So the Chachamim said there's a concept called muktzah. Muktzah. Muktzah, a lot of people, when people are Mechal Shabbos, so kids say, oh, it's muktzah. No. There's Chil Shabbos, that's the Iraisa, and muktzah is the Rabbana. Muktzah means you can't touch certain items because you might come to do a malacha. So one of the items is a stone. A stone is like a really bad muktzah. It's even worse than, let's say, a telephone or something like a device. A stone is muktzah machas gufa. It has no purpose unless you set it aside before Shabbos. So Chacham said it's muktzah. Chachamim were meichel on their own kavod. They said, we established that this is called muktzah. In this situation, because you're very embarrassed, we're removing our restriction. You're allowed to touch muktzah on Shabbos. You need to use a stone for the bathroom? Can you imagine those days using stones for toilet paper? Hashem Yirachim, I don't want to go there. Yeah. But Azay is, and they removed it. So don't get confused, the Gemara says. We're talking about it, Issa D'Oraisa, this if you can't wear tzitzis and Rosh Hashanah, you're carrying Rosh Hashanah, you can't use all human dignity to cover that bris. That only applies by Chachamim, by Issa D'Rabbana. By the way, the Rabbeinu Yonah says that this Issa of Lois Sasser of Issa D'Rabbanan sometimes is worse than the Iraisa. When a person says, it's only the Rabbanan. When a person says it's only the Rabbanan, so now he made the Isser of Lois Sasser a joke. He made fun of the Isser of Lois Sasser. And that's worse than any other Isser. What? Yeah. No, I'm saying if a person eats chazer, so he had a taiva and he ate chazer, he didn't make fun of the Torah. He was over on chazer. But when a person says, it's only the Rabbanon, who cares? I'm only makbid on doiraisas, then he's making fun of this pasuk right over here. This is Rabbeinu Yonah Rishon. And some people say the story was the opposite. When his tzitzis ripped in the middle of the street, Ravina made a comment and said, hey, Mar Baravashi, your tzitzis ripped. Why are you telling me this? You want me to remove my shirt? I don't have to remove my shirt. I heard, this is Emes, the Maisa Shoy, there's a guy here in Bet Shemesh that, younger guys go to him and they ask him Shilas and Halacha. I know the person that said, I don't understand something. Why are you answering them? Did you ever learn halacha? Do you know halacha? He says, no. So why are you passing shilas? He says, Gadol Kavod Abrius, because they come to me and now I'm embarrassed to say I don't know halacha. So Gadol Kavod Abrius. So he said, but wait a minute, but you might be yimachshel them in Dairaisis. He says, but I have a roiv. Most of my psakim are good, so it's batal b'roiv. He starts giving me a whole. Yeah. But wait a minute. And this is just going back, Chazara, we have a little Chazara today, Baruch Hashem, and Beis also. We're just doing over the sugi, but in reverse. But how can you not remove your shirt in the middle of the street this idea of human dignity of Kavod Abrius is only on a Durabanan. V'tigim Rav Shavok Hamed Rav Kahana. Beloved Leisasur. It's only in the Rabbanon. By the way, Stam, interesting halacha that I noticed. Someone was talking about a certain halacha, like on Shabbos, if you wear a talis, you'll notice some people have a busha to go around without a talis. I'm a married person, I'm going to be in shul without a talis. It's a busha. So a person like that could be soymach on Kavod Abrius on Shabbos to walk around with that talis that's not really has enough tzitzis, whereas a person who has no busha and couldn't care less, he's not allowed to wear it. It has to do with human dignity, they say. Okay. Akal Bar Gemara says, in this story, Carmel is the Rabbanan. This was area like a field, which is not a Rosh Hashanah, and the whole list to carry there was the Rabbanan. So once again, Rabbanan relaxed their Isser of muktzah, of whatever it is, of carrying in a Carmelis because of the busha that Mar Bar Ravashi had with that Hadran Allah HaKoimetz, Hadran Allah HaKoimetz, Hadran Allah HaKoimetz. So we're starting Perkat Chelas, and it says that Chelas Eni Ma'keves. I just want to throw this in. We were talking, the whole parak that we just learned are things that are ma'akev one another, things that are important, like the tzitzis we just said, the 4 is a very important, you can't walk around with 3, and now we're going to talk about things that are not ma'akev. How do you say ma'akev in English? Huh? No. Not man. Dependent maybe. I don't know. Essential. So I just want to give you a little rundown. I do this once in a while. Here I have a little bit extra. As you know, I davened for many years in my father-in-law's shul in Lincolnwood, and we have a very, very choshev Rav there who's actually moving to Eretz Yisrael. If you didn't already, Rabbi Chaim Twersky, tremendous Talmid Chacham, a big Anvason, big Bal Kishrin. And he knows a lot about science and all math and all the stuff. And he once gave a very, very powerful speech about tchelis in shul. And many people in shul started wearing tchelis after that, including my father-in-law and his brother and his sons. And I heard the speech and I was okay. 8 years ago, they asked me to speak here in Bnei Yeshivas. And I said, okay, I'll speak about tchelis because I wanted to do the sugya. So I read a few svarim and books about it. And I gave a speech. It was the first time that somebody actually got up in Bnei Yeshivas. I had charts and pictures and a whole thing. And after the speech, a few people came over to me and said, I understand. You just convinced everybody that they should wear tchelas. You were biased to one side. So if you're biased to one side, how come you don't wear tchelas? I was like, oh, you're right. Okay. So I started wearing tchelas. So that was 8 years ago. What was the speech? The bottom line about the whole thing, this whole controversy, call it a controversy or this, is that 99%, almost everybody agrees that if you do wear tchelas, you're not over anything. The only thing you're over is about tashchas. You spend 240 shekel on a pair of tchelas. That's basically the only problem. So it starts with the Regina. And I bring him in here because the Regina, Rebbe, a huge Talmid Chacham, wrote Sfarim, Razin, in Hebrew, Razin, okay, Razin. He went on a campaign to find the tchelas. He figured he could find it. And he spent many months in an aquarium, and he went through all the different fish. And it was the first time there's like a big aquarium in Europe, and he went and he checked all the fish, and he decided, at the end of the day, it's this fish, the cuttlefish. And the problem is that it doesn't have blue dye. So they took the blood, he took the scientists and chemists, and they discovered if they add a certain chemical to it, it turns blue. The G'daylim they didn't like it. They all came out, the Briskerov and this and that, it can't be. And what happened was at the end they figured out that if you take that chemical and you add it to the blood of a cow, it turns to the same blue. That was a big problem. And also this blue, if you put it in the washing machine, you wash it, it comes right out. And we know tchelis is something that stays in the tzitzis and it can't come out. Fast forward many years, they found that the Gemara says that there's a few simanim. First of all, they made it between Sidon and Haifa, like I forgot the exact area, but it's by the ocean. It only comes up every 70 years. It doesn't come up, and it's a chilazain. And the chilazon in Hebrew is a snail, which doesn't mean much in this sugya because it could be something else. But Rashi does say somewhere that it has a shell. Now, a cuttlefish is a regular fish, doesn't have a shell. So it has a shell. It seems like it's some sort of snail. And they go on, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, a lot. And they go on to say that they found from Lebanon all the way down throughout the whole shore, they found millions of these. And here, this is what it looks like. This is the shell of the murex, the famous murex, trunculus, whatever it's called. And they found in one situation, they found a pit the size of a football field with millions and millions of these shells, and they have rice they extracted. Now, one of the arguments is, and there's a lot of arguments both ways, that maybe they're just extracting it because when you pull the blood out, it has a little sac. Mamish, like the Gemara says, it's not the blood, it's a sac. You pop it out, and the color is argamon, purple. I had the thing I forgot to bring today, beautiful purple. You have purple? Here, so send it this way. I see a bunch of people that already came. Oh, the argamon. Here we go. Oh, a whole box. Whoa. Shkoyach. Yeah, this I have. The argamon. So this is argamon. Yeah, it's a beautiful purple. And so maybe they're doing it for the argamon. They discovered they didn't know what to do. What do you do with this? It seems right. It seems like it's the right thing. And then they discovered some sort of, in the process, and that's what we're going to see on Motzei Shabbos. By the way, Shir Motzei Shabbos in Til Tchelet, in Kfar Dumim, the Hebrew Shir basically is already sold out. You have to register. The English Shir, I never said you have to register, so nobody registered yet. So I'm saying today that please register. There's only room for 200 people maybe, and we have to know how much food and whatever to. So in the middle of the process if you stop it, you bring it into sunlight, it turns into blue. So it turns into blue. Now, one of the fascinating things about this, and this is what really got me, is that the Gemara says there's something called Kali Ilan. It exists till this very day. It's called indigo. The Gemara says that the color of indigo, the blue, and I have to say this also, there is no blue in nature. There's no blue dye. They couldn't make anything blue in those days. The only way they can make it is from two things. From indigo and from this murex, or what we think, from the chilazon, whatever the chilazon is. And that's one of the reasons why the Romans at a certain point said nobody could use, you can't produce tchelas. The Goyim stopped tchelas. The Amoraim were still wearing tchelas. The way past the medrash that says that tchelas was nignaz, which Reb Chaim Kanievsky always quotes, it's mefurish in the Gemara that certain Amoraim were wearing tchelas, and it's many generations after that. So, but why did they bury it? Because it was so important to them. All the kings wore tchelas, and they didn't want the commoners to have tchelas, and they buried it. That's what the historians say. I'll go upon him. This is all circumstantial. There's no 100% evidence. But one of the crazy things, and this is what I showed back then in Middle Shir, is that the Gemara says that indigo and tchelas are exactly the same color, and whoever tries to pass off a pair of indigo tzitzis as if he's selling tchelas, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give him a really bad punishment because only HaKadosh Baruch Hu could tell the difference. And what got me, one of the things, is that this is indigo. And everything in this world has a molecular composition. And the composition of indigo is this number right over here. C16, H10, da-da-da. It happens to be that this murex dye is exactly the same composition. It has the exact numbers, everything, 1 to 1. And it's very rare to have two things in the universe, that one is a living creature and one is a plant, to have the same exact composition. Ayin Sham, or the other name. But it is a similar color, and the tchelas that they have doesn't wash out. And the fact that you don't really lose. Okay, so now you have the problem, the big number one taina that everybody has. The number one is, if it's so true and it's so real, why didn't Reb Chaim Kanievsky wear it? And why didn't Reb Elyashiv wear it? So there's a story that they like to say over. I have no idea. It's probably not true. Say that they went to Reb Elyashiv and they said, "How come you don't wear tchelas?" So he said, because if I say that if I wear tchelas, then everybody's going to have to wear tchelas. And I don't know if it's 100%, and I don't want everybody to have to spend all this money. It's a lot of money. You have to give it to your kids. It's 250 shekel, just the tzitzis itself. By the way, there's a big discount on Motzei Shabbos. I don't know what it is, but fine. So they said, okay, so then why don't you wear it b'tzina? How come you don't put it? And by the way, I know of a lot of gedolim that wear b'tzina. And I have friends that wear b'tzina. A lot of people wear b'tzina because it's not the thing to do. So he said, who told you I don't wear b'tzina? So it could be it was like one of these, like, you want me to wear b'tzina, then you ask me, how come I can't tell you if I'm wearing b'tzina, then it won't be b'tzina. Fine. So that's that piece. A guy wrote me a beautiful email today to debunk the whole thing. One of the things he wrote in there, in Hebrew, he says, I want you to know the other tzdadim, and he brought up some points I never really thought about. He says, if it's true that Kali Ilan and Tchelas are the same color, but that's just a question in the Gemara, why did they use something that's so hard to come by, and you have to dive into the ocean and get it? They ask us every 7 years, you need divers to get it. Why don't they just use indigo? What's the benefit of using Tchelas? It has a lot of kashas here. I put it on the screen. You could take a look at the kashas. You have stiras and this and that. I'm never the one to say it's 100%. I'm saying if it's 51%, if there's some sort of, you have nothing to lose. You might be Mikayim a mitzvah, the Iraisa of Tchelas. Here's a question I want to ask the Olam. The Torah says, here's the pasuk. Some of you say it every day. What's a bigger mitzvah? What's more important in tzitzis? The white strings or the blue strings? The Torah says you have to wear blue strings. What's more important?
The white. It's more common.
That's not the reason, but you might be right.
I learned it in Daf Yomi.
Wow. Ashi. The only one that knew the answer. By the way, Ashi's giving lessons in Kaddish Zogan. He's 400% better than he was a month ago, and he's giving lessons, he said. Yeah? Okay. You're laughing. I thought you were for real. Fine. So, great. Where's my tzitzis over here? Just as a side note, there are 3 areas of a tzitzis. There's the psil, there's the chulya, and a gdil. Anybody know what is what? Where's the psil? Where's the gdil? Where's the chulya?
The individual is the psil. The chulya is the...
Here we go. The chulya are each one. The gdil, this is the gdil. And the psil is this guy over here. Okay? Psil tchelas. This is the strings that hang down are the psil. Okay. Says the Mishnah. Oh wow. Now that we have 10 minutes to do Amud Aleph and Amud Beis. Hatchelas edim ha'keves es halavan. I got to show you. This is super. Yeah, thank you. To answer the question why I wear tchelas but Reb Chaim Kanievsky doesn't wear tchelas. So this is super important. I only showed it once in the last 7 years. I'm showing you here together. Make it loud, please. This guy made him crazy. Okay, he made him crazy. He's arguing with him about the nignaz. You have to wear it. Why? Because if you believe it, you have to wear it. What he says over here is very, very important to me. Is that he says if you hold that you're mechuyev, if you hold that this is it, then you're mechuyev al pidin to wear it. That's what he says. If you hold,
It's not a suffix for you.
For you, yeah, the mis mechuyev, fine. Yeah, you have to know the background. I believe I saw the whole thing, and he just kept on. He said, "Okay, you're mechuyev. Fine." That's what they're going to say. But akaponim, he gave a heter here for those who want to. You're not over Reb Chaim Kanievsky, because if you believe it, then you're mechuyev. And he says, "Please be moitzi me." He says, "How can I be moitzi you? You know, it's not possible." He says, "If you really believe it, then okay." Says the Mishnah, "Hatcheles enu makeves esalavan." If you only have white strings, you wear the white strings like you guys. V'halavan enu makeves hatcheles. And the white is not makev the So if you only have blue, put on the blue. Tefillah shel yad inu makeves shorosh. We learned this. If you only have one tefillin, let's say you only have rosh. So Rabbi said we went through this. Let's see if the other remembers. You only have tefillin shorosh. You're on vacation. You're on a plane, so you only have tefillin shorosh. What do? You put it on. How many brachas do you make if you're Ashkenaz and not Sfarad? 2 brachas. Usually you make 1, but now since you don't have the shayad, you have to make both. Oh, gewaldig. I asked the Israelis, they had no clue. They weren't. Yeah, you did. Okay. Sticking up for the Israelis. We'll go back to the videotape. Everything's videoed. By the way, just real quickly, the tchelas, it says over here, if you don't have blue, wear just white. If you don't have white, wear just blue. Over here, tefillah sheyad einu makeves shorosh, but you have to do all strings blue, all strings white. Over here, you don't have to wear 2 pairs of rosh. You do 1 out of the 2. It's a slightly different concept, but nevertheless it's makiv and not makiv. You're looking to see if the pshat over here is up to the scroll.
The word ma'akev, we don't have a.
And what does it say over here?
Here it says necessary. It's not exactly.
Yeah, we could do better.
Yeah, let's see what they say.
Let's see what they say. Be mevayish these guys on the spot. It's his daf, not ours. Says the Gemara, Leiba Masisim like a Rebbe. Perhaps our Mishnah doesn't go according to Rebbe. Why? The Sanya Uri Isim Oisoi. Now we're talking about two strings, 2 types of strings, blue and white. So why does it say you should see it in singular? It, what's it? So there's a machlokes how do you learn the word it? You should see it. It means as the 2 of them are 1 unit. Look at it, Divi Rebbe. So in other words, without the blue, don't do white. According to Rebbe, Rabbi say, all of you guys who are not wearing blue, you shouldn't be wearing tzitzis, according to Rebbe. Rabbeinu HaKadosh, the author of the Mishnah, holds blue, without blue, do not wear white. We obviously don't pass him like him. My time, why did Chacham say it's not makiv? Sorry, my time of the Rebbe, the Chsiv HaKonof. My time of the Rebbe, what's Pshat and Rebbe? The Chsiv HaKonof, it's extra. The word HaKonof is extra, it says it already. Min Konof. What color were most of the garments in the time of Chazal and time of the Torah? White. They didn't have the dye that we have today. So that means that the strings should be white. Min Konof, it should be from the same fabric, the same min as the beged. Uchsiv, psil tcheres, it also says blue. Singular. You should see the 2 types of strings, white and blue. You should see it. Meaning it should be like 1. By the way, we're going to do this Gemara all over again. So, it means each and every one, a singular. The white is it, the blue is it. So, they're not ma'akiv one another. Our Mishnah that says that chelis is not ma'akiv, it's not necessary, it's not, what do you call it? Essential. What does he say?
He says essential.
Essential.
Not exactly matching.
Okay.
A limiting factor.
Right.
It's 2 words though. Ma'akiv. Fine. No, our Mishnah could go like Rebbe. What the Mishnah says that one is not makiv the other. Rebbe says the blue is makiv the white. You cannot do one without the other. But what the Mishnah says it's not makiv is another type of halacha. I bought this. I don't know why. Just for one, just to do this. That it's so simple. I don't know why I had to buy the strings and everything. Made somebody run to the store for me. But it was interesting. We had 2 guys from Mishkan Tchelet here, the guys that do these tzitzis for me also. And I asked the guy, he said, I'm not the kosher. He's the kosher. I said, okay, what are you supposed to put into the hole first? He wasn't so aware of this halacha. And it's a halacha. They're supposed to put the white string into the hole first. L'kadem. It's called l'kadem. L'chatchila, put it in. Okay, all this. White first, blue second. Why? Because white is more important, like Ashi said. White is more chashav. The Gemara is going to say it a few times. Rashi brings it out. There's a mitzvah to put the white before the blue. And if he made a mistake and he did blue first, yatsa. It's okay. I have to do tshuva over here, Rabbi Isai. I've been putting into everybody's head that Shona olav akasav la'akev. In Kachim, if it says it twice, it's ma'akev. And what about if it's not in Kachim? Then one time is ma'akev. I don't think I was so clear about that. And Taisa says it over here, Mefurish. Taisa asks, Tema the Mikro, the Dashin, Love and Beresha, name it the ma'akev. The Torah says it once, it should be ma'akev. The loy begin in Shona akasav la'akev. You don't need twice, ela b'kachim. So if I said it wrong, the entire Masechta, and in Zisbachim as well, I'm realizing now, two Masechtas, so I apologize. One is ma'akev in the whole Torah. Kachim is a kula, not a chumrah. It's one is not enough. You need the Torah to repeat itself twice in order to make it essential. Says the Gemara, my chisa mitzvah. What does it mean? You missed out on a mitzvah. Daf, lamed ches, on the base. Oh, we have a sponsor. It's Rish Chodesh. Turning of the Daf, Adar Global, happy clients all year, not just this month. Oh, and take a look at this. We opened up Chulin only for people that bought dafim in Menachos, and look how many people grabbed their daf, because I'm not going to be able to read their names now because we're very, very late on time. But here we go. Joel Gedalius. Oh, Joel Gedalius took a bunch of dafim over here. Jacob Gindi, Yishkoyach Gadol Ma'oid. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 people held on. 16 daf were held on. Great. So what does it mean? If you tell me, it means we actually have another 9 minutes to go. Even though we're late, we started late because of Rosh Chodesh. So I want to remind the Olam, there's a mitzvah to have special food today on Rosh Chodesh, a Sudas Rosh Chodesh. Doesn't mean you should, challah and kiddush and everything, but it means one special item, l'cover Rosh Chodesh. Ilay mechisa mitzvah every Rosh Chodesh. Ilay mechisa mitzvah the love and v'kiyim mitzvah the tchelas. What does it mean? It means that you missed out, you didn't put the strings in correctly, you only did white, not blue. What do we say? L'Rebbe, akuvim akvi hadadi. According to Rebbe, that's no good at all. Omer Rav Yehuda Omer Rav, shechisa mitzvah v'asa mitzvah, like we said before, or my chisa mitzvah, what does it mean? That you didn't do the hagdama, you didn't put the string, you didn't put the white in before the blue. Ask the Gemara, great. That's one way. But the Mishnah says that one is not makiv this way, the white is not makiv the blue, and the blue is not makiv the white. Well, you just said that the white is not makiv the blue, that if you put the blue in before the white, you yoitza. But how do you do the reverse? If you, by mistake, put into the hole the blue string, it's not makiv. But what's the opposite case? This is a famous thing people say about Gdoilim. He's a talis shekulat chelas. But it really comes from Kairach. Talis shekulat chelas. We have a little video here for that. Oh, I want to show you the chilazin that Yoshi did. A couple things. These are the shells. You have to dive to get it. It's not simple. That's why the Gemara says it takes 170 years. I don't want to miss any videos here. The kids of the rest we'll see on Motzei Shabbos. I don't want to give away the whole. There's a little sack in there that has that. Okay, but I wanted to show you this video. First of all, real quickly, I got to show you this. I want to show you how things changed. We used to do 3D animation. This video, which was a chiddush in that time, was only a year and a half ago or so, 2 years. And I want to point out how the tzitzis were not flexible in the video. It was so hard to flex every movement. A video like this took 4 days, 2 people, 4 days. Look at his tzitzis, how stiff. You'll see soon when he bends over. Here you go. They remain. Here we go. It's unbelievable. So, but here we go. This is, and fast forward to this. This is Talshit Kulat Chelis. This is Tzvat. Because the beach, the ocean reminds you of the heaven. The Chelis reminds you of the beach, and the beach reminds you of the heaven. Blue jeans, blue everything. And you're supposed to put in the blue. In this case, you saw what he just did? He put the blue in before the white. Why? Because his beged is blue. Since his garment is blue, he's supposed to put the blue in before the white. Now, Shiloh, what if you're a soldier and you wear green and you have a green undershirt and you want to put tzitzis? Do you need green tzitzis? It might be preferred. I don't know. Now what? So now you have the reverse. In a white garment, you're supposed to put the white first and then the blue. But in a blue garment, you're supposed to put the blue and then the white. Itmanami. Ariel, you're king. Okay, so now we're going to do the same Gemara over B'chazara. Don't sit down, stand on your feet until you could explain this to me. It goes both ways. One is not essential for the other. You could put white without the blue, blue without the white. What does it mean? If you have a white garment, the mitzvah like dumi love and bereisha. The mitzvah is to put the white strings in first. My time, why? Hakanov, min kanov, it should be the tzitzis should be the same color as the beged. Biagdim tcheles the lavon, and if you put in the blue first, less than boy, you're not over anything. Tenach lavon denim hakeves at tcheles, tcheles denim hakeves is a lavon mai. And what's the reverse case? If the garment is blue, then you have to put the blue in first. The mitzvah like dumi tcheles bereisha. Da kanaf min kanaf, because now your garment is blue, so your tzitzis should be the same. What's the word I'm looking for? The same fabric, the same color as the garment. V'yagdim love and bereisha. If you put in the white before the blue, less than blah. Omarava, I don't understand you. Me the tzivah kagarim. Where in the Torah? The Torah says put white before blue. The Torah never said it should match up to the garment. Elo omarava le'nitzucha. Ella le gardumin. So I have a video for gardumin also, which I forgot. Remind me to show to the Israelis. How does a person have here? You have this. This is that. I had one of my kids' tzitzis. Gardumin means that if you go like that, and now it's a gardumin. Gardumin. According to Rashi, it's after all the knots. After all the knots, you have a little piece hanging out. Is this kosher or not? Well, it depends how big it is. If it's very small that you can't make a slip knot, then it's possible. How do you get to gardumim? So Yoshi is going to show you how to get to the gardumim. There's one in the middle that Mendy's not going to like so much, but whatever. I gave him a heter to show it. Mendy gave me the look. He gave me the look. This happened to my brother-in-law. Not really, but they took his towels back. Remember they stole his stuff? His soap? All right. So if the igardim tchelas v'koy lavan. So there's two conditions here, Rabbi Yisai. First of all, you have to have all the other color strings in contact. They have to be whole, shalom, and the strings that you don't have that are ripped. Oh, so I don't want to forget this point. Very important point. It's referring to strings that were the right length. They were good. They were kosher, and then they ripped. Because if you start off and where they're tiny, no good. It's only because they had the hechsher before and they were tiny. Number two is that even the piece that's ripped, it's not just one string. Think about it. It's not one string because every string has a counterpart. It's 4 strings that make 8. And if one of the 8 is ripped, its partner on the other side is whole, and that's okay. So when it says that it's ripped, 2 strings ripped, I don't know how you know both. In the blue, it's easy. I do blue. By the way, I got to show this to you. Where was it? We're running out of time here. That's fine. This is from Til Tchelis. These are all the shitas of how you could tie it. I do gra this way. So if you look at gra, there's also, the Rambam says only 1 tchelis in, so that's 2 strings. The Ravid said 2 strings, which is 4. Where you double it up, so it becomes 4. And according to Taisus, it's 4 tchelis. Unbelievable. So these are all the different ways you could go crazy. There are people in Mishkan Tchelis that know how to do all of these. Great. So if you're gra, so now you only have 2 strings that are blue. So the only way, if it's ripped, if both blues are ripped, now you know that you got a real problem halachically. And according to Rashi, the rip happens below the knots, below the knot. According to Tosfos, if there's some remaining over here, it's still kosher. The rip is all the way on top over here, according to Tosfos. Okay. Zog the Gemara. Let's just get here, let's finish up. We have 22 seconds. If there's tchelis and there's the tchelis ripped, but there's white, if it's left over, it's kosher. The ezav is the hyssop that you sprinkle on a tame. It has a shear of a tefach. The shear of tzitzis is 12 thumbs. Omar Bar Hamdure Omar Shmuel Kidei La'anvan. You should be able to make a slip knot, which is basically, okay, I'm not going to do it now. You know how to do a slip knot, but you could, not this way. Okay, you just pull it, and it undoes itself with 1 pull, like a tie. Iboilu, Kidei La'anvan, La'anvan Kulu Ba'adadi, does it mean all the ripped ones have to be tied together? Or Dilma Kol Chad V'Chad L'Chudei, Teiku, each one is individual. The Gemara doesn't have an answer. Rabbi Sai, a Guten Chodesh, thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.